All right, we're starting and we're live. So we're gonna move this thing. Hold on 1 second.
We're still preparing.
What'd you do? You broke it.
What'd you? Oh.
I haven't touched anything. It's still on.
Yeah. No, it's just the window minimized. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hello, live people.
Yeah, we're just getting the laptop out of the way
There
so we can talk to y'all a little bit more face to face. Kind of YouTube's people. So now we have Patrick with us, who wasn't here last time.
Hello.
For those of y'all who tuned in to our first video, thank you. So we got Eddie Hill, Renee Rodriguez,
Howdy.
Miguel Cantu, Patrick Newcomb. Director, 3 producers, and we're still missing Jesus, who will get on here one day. Jesus Fuentes, he's the one that put our pitch decks together. Got all our other stuff that we needed, like our business plan, our days out of days reports, our budget, all kinds of stuff. So he's a great guy to get involved in your film project if you're going to be doing one. Highly recommend him. Follow him on Instagram, Mr. Cifuentes. And yeah.
Leave him there.
So you got all kinds of stuff on there. Today we're talking about updates on the movie. So we've had a couple of developments as far as investors go. 3 of them actually. One was our concept was pitched to a potential investor out in Austin 2 days ago. Things went really well, so hopefully we hear something back on that. But we're not just putting all our what's the phrase? Put all your eggs in one basket.
We're not putting all our
So we're not betting on just one person. We're still marketing the movie out because we don't want to just sit around and keep our fingers crossed that one person is going to make it happen. So
and that's the one thing they need to remember is that when you're doing this, you can't put all your eggs in one basket at all. You have to continuously put things out there, continuously try, because the problem is if you sit there and bet on one thing, you're going to end up being disappointed, and all that time was wasted that you could have been trying to get funding from somewhere else. So never just sit around and wait for one thing. Always have 3 or 4 things going at once. Winner takes all. So it's smart management basically.
Yeah. So aside from that, we have a couple other meetings scheduled. One was supposed to happen today, couldn't just because the person coming by to talk about the movie had some prior engagements and couldn't get here in time. So hopefully we can talk this coming week. I'm going to be busy next couple of days with Comic-Con coming up. Hopefully these guys can participate too and come by and at least say hello. But other than that, we're still in the process of getting people involved for the investment. Trying to raise $500,000. It's not an easy sum to hit, but it is considered a micro budget film.
Yeah, even at that, it's still not very much.
Yeah, it's not too much. Our line itemized budget says $536,000, but I think we can still make it work with 500. And in our pitch deck, we even have a section where we have tiers of product placement buy-ins. So if anybody wants to come in and show a product, what they do is they have different tiers based on how much they invest in. So this is something you can get creative with your film. It doesn't have to be like a sellout advertisement where it's strictly showing like, oh, we have this brand Coca-Cola product and flash it in front of the camera every single chance we get. It doesn't have to be a commercial like that where it's totally obvious. It can be just something just in the foreground. The way we structured ours was 3 tiers. Yeah. A $5,000 buy-in per scene, and that's called our associate producer tier. You receive an invitation to the premiere, social media shout-outs, and your product featured in one of the film scenes or our video game, because it's not just the movie that we're producing. We're also creating an 8-bit style retro video game. So the product being in either one of those would be great because the audience that gets to see it, not only in the movie, but the people that download content for their games, for their apps, all that kind of stuff. So having that product in a video game is still very beneficial because it gets in front of the eyes of the player. Next tier up is our producer. That's $10,000 per scene. So you get the previous tier perks plus your logo and on a step and repeat whenever we have any kind of public functions, live video shout outs on Instagram, Facebook, and invitation to the film set, and promotional photos with the cast and crew. So the cast that we're looking at aren't just going to be local talents, people that probably have only worked on local films. We're going after some big names on this one. So this will definitely be something that's worth, a lot of money just because of who's in it. So hopefully we can get some people buying in at this, and that will help us get to our $500,000 goal. Next tier up is our executive producer tier. You don't really become an executive producer. These are just names for the tiers. So it's not really an associate producer credit or producer credit or executive producer credit. It's just what we named them. So $25,000 per scene. You get our other two tiers, perks, plus your logo on the film credits, website, movie poster, and any promotional material. So anything that we put out, your brand is included with it. That's what we're offering to people. You can do whatever you want differently on your film, but that's what we decided to go with. It's kind of going along the same lines as Indiegogo or Kickstarter, where you give incentives to people that help contribute to your film. This is just done at a much larger financial scale than $5 donations here and there. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. Also, comparable films. What we have on our pitch deck are a couple movies that have been made that are going to be similar style, which is found footage. I figured we can make this movie work with a low budget if we keep it found footage style, which is what all paranormal investigators do on their shows anyway. So if we keep that same style in the movie, I think it's going to work out really well. But adding the whole comedy aspect of it being a stoner film just makes it that much more entertaining. So some of the comparable films that we have in our pitch deck, there's a Haunted House Part 2, or Haunted House started with Marlon Wayans, super funny movie. What you want to look for in comparable films is where they got distributed. So not just domestic distribution, but where it goes all across the globe. So this one was distributed by Universal Pictures Home Entertainment. Theatrical was released by Open Road Films. It had domestic and foreign sales in the USA, Argentina, Netherlands, Singapore, Germany, Lebanon, Australia, Canada, and Portugal. Each one of those territories, they give you what's called a minimum guarantee. So when you sell a movie, this minimum guarantee goes directly to you. Say it's $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, whatever it is per territory for them to use that movie, put it into theaters, put it into DVD, video on demand, whatever. But at least you're guaranteed that much money for your film, which gets either paid back to an investor, or if you don't have an investor, if you've done it all yourself, you get to keep. So that was 2014. 2016, there's a movie that came out called They're Watching. Very similar style. It was only sold in the USA and Australia. So they didn't make much on a minimum, but I think they're still doing pretty well as far as being a self-distributed movie. Troll Hunter in 2010. This one had a ton of sales. It's USA, Czech Republic, Norway, Hungary,
Good to see on Netflix.
Peru, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Poland, Australia, UK, Portugal, Germany, Japan, Romania. So this movie has been seen almost by the entire world, which is what we aspire to do.
So that was sold to a lot of.
They made a ton of money on that film for being something that it's like you said, you can see it on Netflix. It's not a great movie. It's not going to win any awards, but they're making plenty of money back on these different territories where people are seeing it and watching.
It's a good cheesy movie.
So if you get a company wanting to brand themselves in product placement, and you're getting out to all these territories, just think of the return that company gets.
That's a lot of return.
Just from having that many people seeing your movie. So that's a great way to pitch to somebody, pitch to a company that wants to expand their brand and make sure that they have a sizable audience, because depending on your demographic and who you're trying to show the movie to, that's who they also want to market to. So ours being stoners and people that like comedy and horror
movies.
I mean, that's a huge demographic that we're going after. So it's going to be open to a lot of different companies that want to buy in for that. A couple other movies: Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, Chronicle. Yeah, I won't go into details where they were sold, but all of them doing really well. And hopefully Reefers gets to be one of those films that people put in their comparables and say, look at how successful this film got.
Now, one of the things that we're doing right now is and I know we touched on this before, was the film that we're putting together, the SAD
commercial.
The SAD commercial. And this is a new way that we're going about it. I don't think I've seen anybody trying to go after funds in this manner. But
I mean, it's kind of an older way before crowdfunding happened. So sites like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, all those kind of avenues are where you provide something for whoever gives you a contribution. So even right here on Patreon, if you like our videos, you're more than welcome to send us some money. But at least for this, we're putting videos out in return and giving you information. With our SAD video that we're making, it's more like a PSA. So it's going to kind of tug at your heartstrings, but still be funny at the same time while asking for donations. So it's not really that we're going to be able to provide anything, because the whole idea is for us to raise money to make the film. If we're raising money just to give products back, that's kind of defeating the purpose. So it's all just asking for donations pretty much. And I think we're doing it in a creative and funny way that people can appreciate. So.
And I think that's going to actually take off once you get it out there.
It should be
viral. It's shot really cool.
Yeah, we still need a couple shots to finish up before we release it, but it's being edited really nicely. The shots came out great, like you said. Everybody that acted in those little things as portraying stoners that are bummed out because they don't have anything to smoke, no munchies, no entertainment. And
the entertainment being the big deal.
Yeah. And then we come in with a copy of our movie, showing it to them, and they're just totally excited. They're, feeling happy again. So that's what we want to do.
Make everybody happy.
Make everybody happy. Yeah.
Exactly. What's your take on all this, Patrick?
Well, loving every minute of it. I think you're really going to enjoy the video. I've seen what they've or what we filmed so far, and I cracked up. I was happy with it. You're gonna love it.
Well, you're actually in it.
Well, yeah, I was in it.
You're in it too.
Yeah, from a little piece.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun shooting that day.
Yeah. You were in it. Well, your leg was in it.
My leg was in it, and I think my hand or something like that.
And I think I'm gonna be in it because I got to address the audience and say, I'll be the voice of Sarah McLachlan saying, "Oh, can you contribute like just $2 a month or whatever?"
I think it's going to be hard for you to get that voice of Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, I can't sing as good as her.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, like I said, and we still have quite a few shots to do before we're complete with it. But after Comic-Con, I think we're going to jump right back on it so that we can get it finished, and you'll be the first to know once it's about to be released.
Now we do have like I said before, our marketing campaign where we're taking submissions from people to make similar videos like the ones you find on our YouTube page of people being possessed by whatever the strain is that we're going to use. We're calling it devil's lettuce for now. So if you can if you can act out a scene in a funny way that's shot either on a cell phone or security camera, body camera, GoPro, whatever you want to shoot it on, as long as it's looks like something that can be found footage, blog style, anything like that. It doesn't have to be like a full production, different angles and everything, and make it look like there's somebody that gets possessed after smoking and then attacks somebody, but do it in a funny way. So the last video that we had worked on, that one's getting put together still and should be uploaded to our YouTube channel pretty soon, next couple days.
But definitely send us your video, because I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy or anything, but as long as you do, a decent job with it, you can film it with your phone or whatever you want. You can even make believe that you guys are smoking something or whatever the case may be.
Make believe.
But make believe.
That's all it is. Right?
And then showing somebody that gets possessed by this thing.
Yeah, and I'm adding like green smoke with After Effects, so it's nobody's really inhaling or exhaling anything. It's just,
it's all fake.
It's all fake. That's funny. So since you mentioned Comic-Con, what we're doing is we're going to have flyers that give a detailed description of saying, help us out. This is what you can do. Make these videos. So hopefully the people that attend can see that and say, oh, this is cool. I want to be part of that. I want to make my own little video and hopefully get it seen on the movie or the website or whatever it is that we release it on. And I think that'll help us build our audience. So that's a creative way that we've gone about trying to get our audience before we've even produced anything, before we've even gotten to the pre-production phase of the movie. So technically, we're still in development. We're still trying to lock in some characters. I talked to our casting director past couple of days, and he's going after more and more people, trying to get some numbers for us so that we can work it into our budget and see who works for these parts. So we have our talent palette that you can find on our website, so you can see who it is we're looking at, and maybe if they accept and are able to work with us on our budget, then I think it'd be a great lineup of cast. If they can't, then maybe we'll start looking into other actors that are willing to fit the parts. And even if anybody wants to do a cameo, so say hopefully he can. Maybe Willie Nelson wants to step in and just be like, "Hey, I heard y'all making this movie. I want to be part of it."
Willie, if you're watching this, Willie Nelson, we want you.
Snoop Dogg, awesome. anybody that's into the whole subculture. That's in the industry. We want you to make at least a cameo. Tell all your friends and see if anybody else wants to be part of this movie. We think it's gonna
Cheech Marin,
Tommy
Chong.
Yeah. Love your movies.
Any of y'all would be great. Seth Rogen, long shot, but James Franco, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's make this video go viral so that they can get a hold of it and see that we're looking for them. We want them.
We're calling them out by name. So say, hey, y'all got to contact these guys and say, hey, y'all want to be on that movie. But as far as planning goes, we've got almost everything we can think of for development and pre-production. So we've got our shooting days schedule. So that's already taken care of. How many days we plan on shooting, what scenes we want to shoot, the estimated time frame that it's going to take. So that's all taken care of. Our days out of days, who needs to be on set for what weeks, the characters that are going to be there, how many days out of the week they have to be there. So we can keep a schedule on who to keep on set, what days are free, so we can send them either on their way to do whatever they want or if they got prior engagements, they can know what days to be out. If you're going to put any of these documents together, you also want to have non-disclosure agreements, just because you don't want people leaking out any information that might be, pretty important, including salaries that you plan to pay people, any other budgeting items, all that kind of stuff, names before you release them, any contracts you have with anybody that has product placement. You don't want all that stuff getting out there. So make sure you get some non-disclosure agreements, print it out, sign, keep track of them. So they come in handy. What else? Our budget. We have a 23-page budget that goes over every single account, everything you can think of for the movie to handle the entire production, including lodging, extras, our production staff, the camera, wardrobe, makeup, lighting, special effects, transportation, visual effects, music composition, everything. So make sure you take a really good look at your budget. Make sure you pay people fair wages. You don't want to just get a bunch of volunteers for your film.
I know what you're talking about.
Because you get what you pay for. So make sure you leave enough scheduled in there to get some quality, experienced people on your team. What else? Business plan. have that on your side. What happened?
Is that you?
I didn't fart.
I'm smelling something.
I see Eddie over there. I was like, what are you doing, man?
I know. I was like,
It wasn't me.
And this is what happens in the studio all day.
Sorry, trying to talk business here and somebody's farting. So you get your business plan, you know, that's what you're going to want to give to any investors or people that want to put money into your project. They need to see this. They need to see what your projections are going to be, how you want to go about your marketing, who you're marketing to. But this is essentially everything that we have in our pitch deck. It's just a little bit more detail. So that's basically it, what we have so far for our film.
Pretty much ready.
We're ready to go. Yeah, once we get the money in, we can start our LLC, get all that taken care of, and we'll have the way we're going to structure payments out to people is go through a third party so that there's total transparency. Everybody can see the books and see where money's coming in, where money's going out, who it's going out to. So nobody's, you know, just like I can't go in there and say, oh yeah, all this money's coming to me. Screw the investors. You know, you don't want to do that. That builds bad business relations, and you want to be able to work with people more in the future. So make sure you have somebody else that is, you know, paid a certain amount to handle the finances, but, you know, get somebody that's established. Usually banks do that. So whoever you bank with, even if it's a credit union, they have services that can do a third party payment transaction. So
which is the best way, because you want total transparency on everything you're doing.
Yeah.
It keeps everybody honest, you know, that's in the movie business, because I mean, there's so much money being transferred around and for this, that, and the other, that, I mean, it's common sense that you know, play ball like this so that everybody is aware of what's happening.
What else? Anything else you want to talk about? Aside from the movie, Renee, anything you want to talk about? Patrick?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Well, we have some.
Please donate.
We'll have some good news coming up here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah,
I hope.
hopefully. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We have another project that hopefully will come through. Things went really well with our, I guess you'd say it's just an on-camera interview. And we all went to go eat to celebrate because we think, you know,
now we're full,
it's gonna go, yeah.
And we're
tired
and sleepy.
Yes.
Gassy.
Someone's gassy. I know it was him.
He does
It
have a
was
smirk
him.
on his face. He does have a pretty smirk on his face.
I would admit I'd be
Dude,
proud of it.
That
Big
was you,
smirk,
because
dude.
I was sitting here and whatever it was like flowing this way from over
What
here.
did it smell like?
Huh?
What did it smell like?
Smell like
Smell like
migas.
migas?
Smell like dang migas.
That guy. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
I'd be proud of it. It wasn't me.
I don't know about proud of it. I almost gagged. So yeah, so if this thing goes through tonight, we'll find out more after this weekend. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll have some good news. We'll let you know as soon as we're able to.
And this is something that could benefit the movie as well. You know, it is a different project, but it builds our credibility as far as, you know, our production experience, and will boost the value of this movie, you know, just with our names being out there.
That's another thing. I mean, you don't want to, you know, a lot of people jump on one project and go for one project, which is great. But a lot of times you want 2 or 3 projects going in different directions just to see what gets picked up first.
We have like 4 or 5 projects in the works.
We got a lot of projects.
Yeah, pretty busy.
But, you know, if these go through, you know, or at least these 2, this one and one other that we have working, you know, we're going to be very, very busy.
Yeah, for a year or 2.
Mhm.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really, really awesome, you know, once all this happens. But as soon as we're able to and we're allowed to, we'll definitely fill you guys in as far as what's going on. And I think that if this takes off before the actual movie does, it's going to lend enough credibility to actually get the movie on the right track, and boom, and we'll be filming that before too long as well.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. We covered all we wanted to cover.
Yeah, we've got
any last
we actually have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Let's talk about Halloween coming up. What are you doing for Halloween?
Halloween, that's one thing that we do every year on the 31st, is we go out and we hit the Donkey Lady Bridge. And we go over there and we interview people, and we go live on Facebook a lot of the time. So be sure to get on a paranormal analytical site. We'll go live on there, and we'll be interviewing people at the Donkey Lady Bridge, which if you haven't heard about the Donkey Lady Bridge, you really need to look up the legend. It's awesome. Look it up, read about it, and follow us on Halloween night. We'll be out there interviewing, and hopefully we'll see the Donkey Lady. You never know. I mean, but this is what we do every year, you know, and we try and get out there and meet people, and we have a really good time doing it. And I think if you all join us, it'll be pretty cool. And just heads up, we have something coming up with that as well later, don't we?
Do we? Oh, yeah.
Later.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do.
He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Your
we'll get into
brain's not
that. Yeah,
functioning.
no, I kind of
It's late.
dozed
Yeah.
off a little bit.
Well, we're all worn out, so as you can tell.
And
So yeah, we'll have to get into that one much later, but that is something else that we'll be talking to you guys about too. But you know, just FYI, Donkey Lady Bridge Halloween night, you know, join us. We'll be there live. Join us on Facebook. Go to the Paranormal Analytical website on Facebook, facebook.com/paranormal analytical, and meet us there, man. We'll be loving having you guys.
Renee, what are you doing for Halloween? You're gonna be out there?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I went
They're gonna
last
dress
time.
up?
I always dress up.
What do
We
you
play
think?
dress up a lot.
You get a costume?
I make them.
So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And let me see, what else was there? I wanted to say real quick. Oh yeah, any videos that you have to submit, send them to info@reeferscreepers.com. That's info@reeferscreepers.com. Send them in. Miguel will get them, look them over, and if they're
Well, I got one question. So reefers plural, creepers plural.
Yes.
Okay,
Reefers,
just
creepers.
making sure.
yeah, Reefers Creepers. Reeferscreepers.com. Info. That's info@reeferscreepers.com.
All the information's at the website. If you want to just go to reeferscreepers.com, you can see what it is we're looking for and get our contact info there.
Yeah, but please send them in, because the sooner you send them in, the sooner we can put them on the website and the more people will view them. But let's get these things going viral. Anything you see from the website, please, you know, share it, put it out there. Let's make everything go viral. We really need it to go viral, because the more people that see it, the better. So let's get this stuff out.
Patrick, what are you doing for Halloween?
Taking my daughter trick-or-treating and probably dressing up, but we haven't got our costumes yet, so whatever my daughter picks, that's what I'll be.
And
going to Donkey Lady Bridge.
Donkey Lady Bridge.
Afterwards, yes.
Yeah, so I just got to make sure he knows, because if not, I'm not walking around that place by myself.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so
Hey, you
And
stick
you
me in
too.
horrible situations. Why can't you?
you too. So yeah, we need the team out.
So spooky out there.
It is spooky out there. It's dark and it's creepy.
It's just far.
This far.
It's far.
Well, it's not for me. It's not too bad.
Not for me. I'm right down the road.
Right.
You actually live right there. So
Far
we-
as heck for me.
if we ever have to run, we go straight to your house.
Mhm.
But yeah, that place is it is pretty creepy. But read the Legend of the Donkey Lady, people. I mean, you'll enjoy it. And I think that's going to be pretty much it. It's
Yeah.
a wrap.
That's all we got
We
time
got
for.
we have we got 30 seconds left. So other than that, anybody got any closing statements? No.
No.
Go to the website again, reeferscreepers.com. Email us info@reeferscreepers.com. And thank you very much for checking us out. Become a patron. Send us some money. Do whatever you want.
Send money. We need it. We need it. We need it.
We'll
We
keep
do.
putting more information out as we, have more updates. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll see you next week, Wednesday. Hopefully a little earlier than today. But
Yeah, 'cause we're just really beat tired right now.
Yes.
It's bedtime. Seriously.
all right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.